Okay, let's see if I got everything set up right. Good. All right, just double checking everything, guys. But yeah, welcome to this. As I adjust the camera here for a second. There we go. Welcome to this post Thanksgiving vlog. I know it's still Thanksgiving weekend. Oh, excuse me there. Just had some Coke and just had some leftovers for dinner. But yeah, like I was saying, welcome to this post Thanksgiving Day Friday vlog, live stream vlog. Like I said, I know Thanksgiving weekend is still going on and everything as we speak. As I just checked something right there, keeping an eye on the living room while I can. I'm doing this while my mom is off, so but which of course she'd be off because it's Thanksgiving weekend. But yeah, hope you all had so far have had a healthy and safe Thanksgiving. I know a lot of you have probably gone out of town to see family and everything, which is cool. You know, and you're probably staying with family for the weekend. At least until basically Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, and then or even Sunday evening. Then you drive back, and potentially you probably just keep your kids out of school for one day before you let them go back the following day, which is the Tuesday of this month, which is actually the last day of this month, believe it or not, which is the 30th. But yeah, it's been. I'll say this: it's been quite the weekend. I mean, quite the Thanksgiving so far. Yesterday morning, of course, woke up early, um, mainly because I wanted to watch the parade, which I did. I thought I'll be honest with you, it was great to see the parade back to the way we normally see it. Um, just glad to see people there. I mean, yes, there was some people masked up. Some of the people that were working the floats and carrying the balloons, the handlers and all that. Yeah, they were masked up too. Some of them were. Some of the marching band people were masked up. So obviously you could tell whether or not they were vaccinated or not vaccinated. That basically the requirement to make sure this parade goes off the way it's supposed to, unlike last year, is you basically have to be masked up. Like if you're fully vaccinated, that's fine, but you still have to be masked up, especially if you're participating in an event like the Thanksgiving Day parade. Um, Overall, like I said, I was just glad to see it back to being a parade that everybody can watch and enjoy. As I check something here for a second, guys, make sure you could all see this as I do this. Hold on. Just making sure something. Hold on, guys. And got a little bit of an ad there. So, hold on. But yeah, just checking something. Hold on, guys. Okay. So make sure you guys can hear me and see me, and make sure you're watching. Well, watching later because I know it's late by the time you guys watch this. It's it's past. It's almost midnight here Pacific time. So yeah. But anyways, I again check something here. Just want to make sure you can publicly see this. If not, I'll be shocked for a sec. Yeah, it's public, so yeah, I just want to make sure. I mean, like I said, I know it's late and everything, and people are, probably hanging out with family again, like last night, yesterday. I mean, yesterday, be honest, like I said, I was glad to see, like a lot of us, just glad to see the parade back up and running like it's supposed to be. No, no, no configurating for situations that are beyond our control. But yeah, obviously, as I was saying, you could tell that one of the ways that people that were going to be part of this parade, either as bands or handlers or whatever, one of the main things they had to do was mask up. Like if you were fully vaccinated, that's fine, but we still want you masked up just in case. So yeah, it's one of so yeah, it was great to see it back to the way it was, but then of course the only I guess you could say the only negative is you had a lot of people masked up even if they were fully vaccinated. But you can definitely tell that there were some that weren't vaccinated. Like, like in the crowd, you could tell there was some that weren't vaccinated. I mean, that were vaccinated, obviously. You could tell that there was some in the crowd that were vaccinated and some that weren't. But again, it's like a majority of the people in the parade, from the bands to the America's Spirit Team to the Rockettes. Well, not the Rockettes. That was a surprise there. But like I said, from America's Spirit Team to the marching bands, to the float handler, to the balloon handlers, the people on the floats. You can tell which one. You can tell that a majority of them were masked up. I mean, someone. I'll correct myself on this. Some were not masked up because obviously they were fully vaccinated and they showed the proof with the cards or something. But to me, you can definitely tell that most of the other people were not vaccinated in anything, and they decided to wear a mask. And some people probably just decided to wear a mask out of precautions, like you don't know what you're gonna get anyway. With this being, of course, flu season and everything, along with it being the holiday season. So that's one thing. That's one thing. Um, again, I'll say this: it was just. I'll say this, before moving on. Again, it was just so great to see it back to the way it was, and hopefully there's no hiccups or anything going into next year. And the reason I say that though is, even though it was great to see it was great. I was just checking something there. Even though it was great to see the parade, as it was, as it should be, once again, you know, unlike last year where we still had it, but it was very, very, very modified. Um, One thing I liked about it is they added in a lot of special effects. Like they added in a lot of CGI-ness. Like they would show Santa's sleigh at the beginning of the parade going this way and then coming back this way, like he's traveling all around, going to like different Thanksgiving Day parades across the country before heading back to the Macy's one. They did something with Star Wars, which was pretty cool and everything with the Millennium Falcon and stuff like that, just to prom- excuse me, just to promote the Oculus VR game that's part of it that you could also excuse me experience at Disneyland and Disney World. So that was cool to see and everything. It was nice to see the the animatronic costume characters from Disney be part of this because one of the floats in the parade was the Disney Cruise Line float, and it was nice to see the animatronic parade animatronic versions of the meet and greet characters out and about outside of Disneyland as part of this. So if you ever wanted to see them up close and personal, that was probably and you were in New York, that was your best opportunity right there. So that was nice to see and everything. Um, so yeah, besides that, again, I thought the parade was great. Just it was great and nice to see it back to normal as we're used to seeing without any changes or modifications. And hopefully that won't be the case, and hopefully it'll remain the same as it should be going into next year. And as I was trying to mention, the reason I say that is because the only negative thing to come out of this Thanksgiving weekend, is the sudden report is that South Africa has a is that discovered in the South Africa in the country of South Africa, on regions of it, there's a new COVID variant that the WHO, the World Health Organization, is saying is one of concern, of global concern. Now they're using. Now the thing is, silver lining on it, I guess, to anybody watching that does take, that is concerned about it. The only silver lining is everybody's using the word may, in every interview they do. Like, it may be of concern, it may be, more contagious, it may be this and maybe that. Not saying that it is, but it's maybe that way. Because you got to remember, it's coming. You got to remember what they're saying is it's discovered in South Africa, which is across almost like on the other side of the world. So, for them to say it's been discovered there, as well as it's bouncing from different countries and everything, yeah, if you're into this, if you're into the belief of how contagious and deadly and threatening this COVID thing could be, no matter whether or not we're mostly out of it or something's holding us back or whatever the case may be, then yeah, it is one of concern. But honestly, when I when I looked at this, guys, and I'll be tell you, and look, this is coming from somebody that um, this is coming from somebody that got their vaccination, you know, got their first two shots and might be doing the booster down the line. But this is coming from this is, what I'm about to say is coming from somebody that's done the initial shots and everything. And I know I'm not going to be alone in saying this, but it seems it, it's so ironic that all of a sudden, you still all of a sudden during the holiday season, you have this detection of a new variant of the virus that may be contagious, that may be more contagious, may be not as immune to the vaccinations as the Delta variant and the original virus. And and it's ironic that you hear this during Thanksgiving, during the busiest travel time of the year, probably the most busiest those airlines have seen in a year, the most busiest any supermarkets or retailers have seen in a year, grocery wise. Now all of a sudden you're bringing up that this new variant is suddenly popping up out of nowhere. And yet, according to some people that have read about this or heard about this, they're like, really? All of a sudden, weeks after something else happened around there that didn't seem to be, as concerning or anything, or weeks after the sudden meeting of world leaders or top things, whatever the case was, some kind of big meeting, that all of a sudden we have a new variant, we have a new virus or a new variant of the virus popping up in, of all places, South Africa. And the reason I say all that, the reason I bring all that up is because, and again, this has come from somebody that got the initial two first shots of the Moderna vaccine, that basically, and again, like I said, I know some people may agree with me on this. I know a lot of people may agree with me on this. That basically, it seems like, you know, ironically, it's the start of the busiest time of the year. It's Thanksgiving, families all together and all that, probably watching the news, in the background to see what's going on, whether eating or chatting or whatever. And all of a sudden this comes up. It's just ironic that this suddenly happens. And in reality, what it really is, and you have the World Health Organization saying, oh, it's a one of global concern and everything. And you got reports of the stock market dropping, but we don't know how much. They just say, oh, it went down a little bit, or it went down like this. And to me, honestly, and again, I know I'm repeating myself when I say this. This has come from somebody that got the first two shots of the Moderna vaccine. That in reality, all this actually is just another. And look, let me say this straight. I'm not. I'm not saying that this is something we should not be concerned about. I'm not saying that if you are concerned about this, you are fearful of this. I'm not saying it's something you shouldn't just ignore and not take seriously. If you feel compelled to take it seriously and be concerned about it, then that's cool. That's your choice. If you want to continuously stay safe and healthy no matter what the situation, and are willing to put up with any other restrictions or lockdowns or whatever they want to do, then that's fine. That's up to you. That's more power to you. So nothing against that. But this is just my opinion. And there's a lot of people, like I said, that will probably agree with this opinion. That it's kind of ironic. The start of the busiest time of the year, most festive time of the year too. Ooh, and the one time of the year that's probably going to have the most travel and shopping, grocery, and retail wise, gift wise, it's ever seen in a long time. And you're going to have families together, not just for Thanksgiving, but you're going to have families together for the Christmas holiday and all that going into New Year's. And all of a sudden you have, the news, you have the World Health Organization, you have the government, certain governments that is, including the US, coming up with the fact that all of a sudden they've discovered this new, variant of the COVID virus in South Africa that may be more contagious, maybe, not as, not as, immune to the vaccinations that keep people safe from the virus as we speak. And honestly, like I said, coming from somebody that had the first two shots of the Mandura vaccine, I'll be honest. I think all this really is, in reality, they know the time, they see the time of year, mostly for the US, North America, China, wherever in the world you celebrate Thanksgiving in November and everything. They find it, I find it kind of ironic that all this really is, and again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't take this seriously. If you feel compelled to do so, that's your choice. But to me, all this really is, and I'm not alone in saying this, all this really is just another attempt because it's the time of year, it's the perfect time of year, to make this, to kind of, scare people, spook people into getting vaccinated. This is basically the best time of the year for them to do that. And they're doing it by saying that, trying to put over that this thing could be more deadly or worse and everything than the Delta variant and all that, all because they want people to get vaccinated. That's it. And I know that was a lot just to get to me saying that. I know I talked a lot, brought up different excuses. Well, not excuses, but kind of. I know I kind of took a while to get to that. It's late. It's about 12:06 in the morning now on a Saturday. But like I said, you know what this really is, with this whole South African variant of the COVID, with now that has a name and everything being discovered and everything in that part of the world, who knows what the time of year is? The government here in the US knows, the CDC knows, the governments across the world knows. They realize that we're getting towards the most festive family gathering, family traveling time of year, which is Christmas, and depending on where you live in the world, Thanksgiving as well. And they realize, hey, this is our opportunity to scare people into getting vaccinated. If we scare people by making it sound like this is as worse than what it sounds like they'll be like, oh, I gotta get vaccinated. That's their hope. That's the hope. They're not going to come out and say that. The news media probably, hears, about this and goes like, well, let me see how bad it is. Probably sees exactly where it's at, not just in South Africa, but in other places where apparently it's traveled to. And they're probably thinking, well, it doesn't sound really bad. Why are they saying so? And maybe you have the bosses of those news anchors going like, well, it's mainly because they want them to get vaccinated. So we have to make it sound so bad. We have to make it sound worse than what it is so we could spook people into getting vaccinated. And that's what it really is, folks. That's what it really is when you get down to it. Again, I'm not saying you shouldn't take what's been reported with this variant in South Africa serious. I'm not saying that. If you're concerned about it, if you do take this serious and everything, and you want to make sure you're well protected, no matter where you are in the world, that's up to you. More power to you. More power to you. Much respect. But the thing is, when you really think about the timing, ladies and gentlemen, when you really think about the timing, it's it's just so weird. It's just so weird and ironic that suddenly this new variant in South Africa is suddenly getting reported around, of all times, Thanksgiving time, where families are together across the country for the first time in over a year or so, 2 years, if you will, and now all of a sudden, you got the news reports, you got WHO, you got CDC, all of them reporting this and saying it may be this, may be that. When actuality, all they should say is, folks, we want to tell you that this, we are. I mean, here's what I would do. Even if it costs me my job, maybe puts me on suspension or whatever, if I'm a news anchor, and I want to be truthful with people, which obviously the news, depending on who you believe is really true or not, is saying the truth. Here's what I would do. If I'm a news anchor at NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, wherever, and I feel like, I've had enough of this BS, lying to the people, and I want to win their trust back, I don't care if it would cost me my job or not. I'd come here on YouTube, VENMO, Daily Motion. Heck, I'd even do it on the air. And I'd be like, look, folks, as far as the South African thing goes, it is something to be concerned about, but it's not as bad as we and other news anchors or other outlets are telling you it is. Because in reality, what we're actually trying to do is spook you into get vaccinated. That's all we're doing. So that's the truth. Yes, there is a variant that was discovered in South Africa, but it's not as threatening right now as people are making it out to be. And this is actually just our way of saying get vaccinated, because that's what it is, folks. That's what it is. It's just another way of getting people to get vaccinated. I mean, when was the last time this happened? Yeah, the Delta variant was something to be concerned about. I'm not going to deny that. But still, even when it was dying down, there was always concern of, or something else is happening, or there's another variant, or there could be this and that. And it's all because of spooking you into getting vaccinated. And what they should do, if they are determined to get you vaccinated, they should just make it a mandatory thing if they're that determined. They should just say, no, anybody that doesn't get vaccinated within a week of this time of year, or this time of the month, and this time of year, will be fined $1,000, or will be fined 1,000, or maybe even if they really want to push it home, they should just say, you know what? For every day that you and your family don't get vaccinated, you will be fined $1,000. And do you think people wanna, pay that? You think they wanna lose $1,000 a day, equaling it to maybe 5, 7,000? No. And here's the thing, if the federal government here in this country, the US, or the state governments like here in California, want people to get vaccinated so badly, no matter what vaccine they you is afforded to them or available to them, then all they need to do, if they really wanna make the point, even though it would sound tyrannical, very tyrant-like, if you will, very tyrannical. Um, if I'm them, if I'm them, I put out a law or a ruling saying that either A, if you don't get vaccinated by the end of the week, you and your family, you'll be fined $1,000, for that week. Or if you really want to up the ante and really push the agenda and say, if you don't get vaccinated, if for each day you don't get vaccinated, you'll be fined $1,000, thus resulting in maybe $7,000 total at the end of the week. If you really want to push your agenda to get people to do that, that will do it. And then, yeah, people won't like it. People will go into these clinics or these hospitals and look at the people giving them the shot and be like, I'm not really, and they'll be like, I'm really opposed to this, but I'm being forced financially to do it. Bing, and that's it. You know, if all governments across in this country and across other countries want to get the point across, then honestly, they should just make it a mandatory thing and add in fines. But you know why they don't do that? They don't do that because they know it will show. it no, well, it wouldn't just show, but it would make people more suspicious, and if not more, almost correct in their theories that the government doesn't care about freedom, and that they are forcing you, as subjects, as slaves, as being their property to go and get these vaccination shots. That's what they're doing. That's why that's what they feel they'd be doing. And that's why these governments don't do that. That's why the US government doesn't do that. That's why state governments don't do that. That's why no governments around the world do that. Because they know whatever they preach as being freedom to their people, to their citizens, by doing that kind of thing, forcing them, mandating, them to do it, to, threatening fines and all that, would show that, hey, they don't care about, the freedom of people. They just care about themselves. And they need to make themselves, from a governmental standpoint, look good. That's why basically, you don't have the governments doing all that here in the States or anywhere. All you have them doing is through the news media, mostly the Democratic supported news medias, who thankfully some of them are now looking, looking and seeing the truth as to what's really going on from a political standpoint, and that's all I'm going to say there. That this is why you have these democratically supported news outlets like CNBC, ABC, CNN to an extent, and others coming out and making this new variant sound worse than what it is. And like I said, nothing against anybody that wants to take it seriously or is concerned about it. You want to keep yourself protected, that's fine. No, more power to you, more respect and power to you. But the thing is, when you look at the timing, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing by making this sound worse than what it is right now. They are basically basically their mindset is, from their point of view, is if we spook people enough with how bad this sounds, they'll go, especially those that don't want to get vaccinated, then those that don't want to get vaccinated will go get vaccinated. Or those that got, the full two-shot treatment with the Pfizer or the Mandura or the Johnson will go and get the booster, to, as well. And that's it. That's really what this is, guys. That's really what this is. And again, look, I'm probably going to get my booster, down the line, no doubt about it. But all this really is, and this is the only negative thing, and I know I've been dragging on about this for a while, and I do apologize. This is the only negative thing to overshadow, to really put a bit of a tiny dark cloud on this great holiday weekend, on this beginning of a festive holiday season. This is the only, this tiny damp cloud above it, is the only thing that's dampering it, because what they're doing is just spooking people, and they know it because they see that this is one of the best times of the year to do that. That if they that knowing families are going to get together, knowing families are going to have the news in the background when they're eating or chatting up a storm, and if they bring up what's going on here, that's their way of saying, "Ooh, if we make it sound worse than what it is, and there's families of 20 or more people listening to the news in the background, and we bring this up, that'll and that will hopefully get their attention, and it will spook them." And again, if I'm who, if I'm the CDC, if I'm the local government, if I'm the local federal governments, then I just tell them the truth. Just tell them, look, yes, there was a variant discovered. Yes, the UK and all of them are taking strong precautions to make sure it doesn't cross borders or anything, or cross the sea trend or anything. So that's good. But Alright, what we would advise you or recommend you folks and families to do that are all together for this holiday season is that when you get back home as soon as possible, that basically as soon as you get back home, as soon as possible, go get your vaccinations or go get your boosters, because the more we vax up, the lesser chances we could be affected by this, at all. That's all they have to say. They just have to come out, report it, and say, yes, it has been discovered. Yes, the UK and all those outlets around there are taking precautions. But just so we don't have to do what they're doing, we would recommend that as soon as you get home, home from you being with your families and everything, that as soon as possible, go get your vaccinations or go get your boosters. And that's it. That's all they have to do. Because if they do that, not only will it be more acceptable by people, but it'd be showing that, yeah, even the news, and if not the country itself, is getting sick and tired of all this, BS going around. But again, that's up to them. And right now, it doesn't look like they want to take that kind of, direction to go. They don't want to go take that kind of incentive, I should say, and go in that direction because of the fact that what they're more determined about is spooking you. Once they put fear in you, from their point of view, then that's when they're going to, believe that they have you. They can make you do whatever that you want or whatever they want by just making something sound worse than what it is. And again, nothing against people that want to take this seriously. I'm not saying that. But still, the timing, you got to look at the eroticness of the timing. That's all. And and some people have brought up the fact that, hey, isn't that weird that these people all met together a couple weeks ago in this big meeting, and all of a sudden here's this new variant? Very suspicious. So a lot of people are being very questionable about it. I'm surprised. You know what? And I'll be honest with you. I bet a lot of the news outlets, major and local around here in the states, are being very suspicious about this. Like, wait a minute, where did this suddenly come from? You know, and I think that's what's and I think even from their point of view, they're kind of like weirded out by this. Like, where did this suddenly come from? I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to report on it, but where did this suddenly come from? You know, and obviously there are some outlets across the country here locally that are probably not doing so because I'm probably realizing that this is BS. This is weird. You know, but again, it's just again, I know I went on about this a little too longer than I should have, but it's just kind of like the timing is just weird. It's just weird the timing of this sudden new variant being discovered. So hopefully, and I think it will be because it looks like the UK and Israel and all of them are taking the precautions needed right now to make sure this doesn't get transmitted across the sea. And I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be absolutely fine. We do not need to go into another lockdown or shutdown or anything like that. I do not think that's going to be happening for quite some time. I think all this really is in reality is it's the reporting something that was discovered that hopefully is being contained with and dealt with as we speak, but also it's just another scare tactic to get people to get the vaccination who haven't gotten it yet, or encourage people to basically in their own way to get the booster. That's all it really is. That's all it really is. But besides that, I know I'm about 32 minutes and 30. I'm about 33 minutes in, so I do apologize, like I said, for going on about that for a while. But still, it just really was. It's just again, the timing was just so ironic, if you know what I mean. But honestly, besides that, the the time together with family was great. Had a lot of food to eat. What we did is, me and my mom, we, like I said, we got up, we enjoyed the parade and everything, and after enjoying the parade, we kind of relaxed a little bit, got ourselves ready, went to my older sister's because we were riding with her. To my second older sister's in Modesto. Basically, she lives, as I've said before, she lives on the border of Modesto and Empire. So we were going there for Thanksgiving. Had a good time, got to see family and everything. My great niece is at that stage now where she is 1 year and let's see, September, October, November. She's 1 year, 3 months. She's basically 15 months, and excuse me, and already she basically, because my niece showed me this or showed us this. It's an old video that my cousin, who's a photographer, she has her own photography business, showed us, sent my niece a video of her when she was a baby. And when you look at my great niece, she's almost a spitting image of her, right down to the curly hair and everything. And I got to hold her. I got to hold her for the first time in a while. I mean, I've held her before, even when she was born. I held her, but I finally get to hold her like up close and everything, like that. And it was good to see. It was good to see her walking about. I mean, she's at like I said, she's at that stage now where she's walking around and looking into everything and all that. And my niece even joked that, if they ever came here, my mom would have my mom, her grandma, would have an anxiety attack for the fact that she has a lot of stuff in her room. Well, I have a lot of stuff in my room, so that's kind of the um, a double dose of anxiety, if you know what I mean. But yeah, but yeah, besides that, like I said, we got to spend time together. Got to see my brother-in-law's dad, his stepdad, if you will, who's basically his dad. He's basically raised him since he was a kid, so you could take the word "step" out of there. Got to, like I said, see my niece and her fiance and their daughter, and got to see my nephew and his fiance, um, and kind of got the I wouldn't say official or anything, but kind of got the gist of the fact that they want to try my nephew and his fiance want to try to get married before my niece and hers. So next year, so that's kind of up to them whether or not they keep that. I mean, you could do a double wedding and be done with it. That'd be great too, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what they do. Um, but yeah, kind of got a vibrational feeling from that. Like, it sounds like they want to get done first, and then of course my niece wants to do hers at a time where she feels it's more affordable, more fit, more suitable, and everything for people to be part of. Um, and if anybody's concerned, I am going to get the teeth fixed. Before I'm going to take care of these things in my own way. Before that happens. The only thing I'm trying to look forward to when I do that is I want to stay awake, no matter what the procedure, because I know they can do that. When they did my fillings one time, when I had my teeth filled in, I stayed awake. There was no sleeping or anything. I stayed awake. So I know, and my brother-in-law, my second older sister's husband, has said that yeah, you could stay awake when they do certain things like extractions, replacements, and stuff like that. So that's what I'm looking at basically is when the opportunity presents itself, and it will very soon. That I want to make sure I stay awake for that because I know you can. I know you can. So anyway, besides that, like I said, we had a good time. Had a lot to eat. I mean, my plate was big. I mean, I had a lot on there. I had a big old turkey leg on there that I had to I ate a little bit of it, but then I had to wait, had to sit back. I had a lot of ham to go with it and macaroni and stuff like that, potatoes and everything. So I had to basically take my plate, put it into the microwave for a little bit, and then when I kind of let the food settle down, I went over, got it out of the microwave, and finished off the turkey leg that I was eating. It was like this big, literally, it was this big. So I ate that. Overall, we had a good time. My mom got to see a little bit of the first part of the Get Back documentary that's on Disney Plus of the Beatles. She got to see that. Um, and overall, you know, just had a good time seeing family and everything. And what's funny is we did not get out of there till after 1:30 or something like that. We did not get out of there until almost 1:30, and we didn't get home until well, we had to drive back to my um excuse me, we had to drive back to my older sister's because my mom parked the car there because we were riding with my older sister. And like I said, we didn't leave my second older sister's house till about 1:30. We got back just about 5 minutes to two. 5 minutes to two. And me and my mom we got in the car, got everything set up, and we left literally around 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the morning. It was like, oh Lord. And we didn't get to bed until about 3:30. Because one, we had to get the food in, and then we had to get ourselves comfortable. My mom had to go take her shower and everything. We had to let our dog out. I had to pick up the doggy pads I put down when we're gone for a long while, or while I'm sleeping, I just put like two down behind me just in case. And yeah, it was quite a time. It was quite it's quite the Thanksgiving to end with, because we basically we basically we went to my older sister's to ride with her. We had to wait about 20-25 minutes because she had to make sure her sweet potatoes and her stuffing was at a perfect pitch, perfect boil. And even when it wasn't, she had to finish it off, or finish doing it at the at my at our sister's house in Modesto. And yeah, it was just one of those things to where we left that house around 5. Okay, I think it was almost like well, not 5, it was like 4:30 going into 5 o'clock. We left around that time. Or actually, was it 4:30? No, it was actually between a little after 4 going into it was like 4:15, I'll put it that way. And it took us a while to get to my sister. It usually doesn't take us too long, but it took us a while this time. And like I said, we got there a little after 5. We started eating, and we saw everybody. Glad to see people. We ate and everything, like I said, and then we didn't leave, as I was mentioning, till a little after 1:30. And when we got back to my older sisters in Modesto, we didn't get out of there until about a little after 2, and we got home around like 2:30 or something like that. And then we, after that, because and here's the reason. Here's why we didn't get to my older sisters till after 2. They stopped at the gas station to get some wine and some extra beer just to relax with, because that's what they do. And especially when my older sister doesn't have to work the next day. So we went there, then we went to their house, and like I said, me and my mom didn't leave until a little after 2. Got home around a little after 2:30, and then we didn't get to bed till about a little after 3, around 3:30. Heck, I didn't turn this computer off, until a little after 3:30 or so, almost 4. That's how late it was. And then I got up today, let her out, was planning to get the most of the tree up, was planning to get most of the tree and everything up. But instead, just, I got up, let her out, let our dog out, made myself some coffee, put the coffee over here where the can is, right here where I'm pointing at, put it here, and then laid back down, went back to sleep. What I was gonna do actually is just lay down, look at my phone and everything, and then try to get back up. But my body was just so worn out. I was like, "That's it, I'm done." Because I was up from basically 7 in the morning, 7, 8 in the morning, if you will, till basically 3:30 in the morning. That's how late it was for me. So, so yeah, it was just one of those days to where you're full of food. You come home and everything, and then the next day you want to get up and do things, but you can't, and your body's just like for the day, until finally you're ready to go, and the rest is history. um but yeah, finally got up, got something to eat in my stomach besides the leftovers. It was just a can of soup, a cup of soup. And then after I rested a little bit, had to turn the computer back on and everything, let it do its thing. Got basically I started to kind of get moving a little bit, started to get moving a little bit. And that's when I decided to start getting the decorating going up. And as soon as I was getting into the mood, I mean, I got the tree going up, because we have one of those artificial trees you have to put together. So as the moment I was getting the tree up, the moment I was getting the tree up and everything, all of a sudden, our our alarm, I wouldn't say our alarm, but our living room hall monitor. That's right, our living room monitor. Well, it wouldn't be saying the hall monitor is the same. Well, basically, what I'm saying is our living room security monitor. It's just the same kind of monitor in the hall, which sticks in the corner, like over here, it sticks in the corner. like that, it decides to go off. And it doesn't go off, go beep, 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 or anything like that. It just all of a sudden goes beep. And it does that once like every few moments. It goes beep. And I'm thinking, okay, it's nothing wrong. So I'm thinking I'm thinking, well, it's probably just letting me know that it's it's getting low because the battery's been getting low, right? I got to change. I had to eventually change it as well as I got to change the other ones down the line, which are the window ones. So it's going beep. And I'm thinking, "Oh, okay, maybe it's just warning me that it's getting lower, right? The battery's getting lower." So I go to the keypad, which we key in the code to when we go to bed to set the alarm for when we're going to bed or when we're away or to disarm it. So I wave my arm in front of it because we have no windows open, no windows, all right, because it's cool. It's cool. It was like in the 60s, low 60s, but it felt more cooler than that. So I put my hand in front of the keypad, and instead of showing the little green LED on top, I do it, and it shows me the orange one. And when it shows you the orange LED instead of the green, and you have nothing open, that means the battery has to be replaced. So I had to go and replace the battery, and I had to move the. Me and my mom had to move the tree. We had to move her little plant. It's a fake plant, but it's in a vase. We had to move some movies, and I had to get on a ladder, had to reach up, had the wrong side screwdriver. She had to go get me another one. Had to get a flashlight up there. My mom had to hold that. I take the stuff out, but finally I open it up, take out the circuit board carefully as they instruct, took out the battery, put the battery in, and boom, put it back on. And I'm thinking everything's okay, right? Wrong, because all of a sudden it still says trouble. I'm thinking, okay, what's going on now? So I snap a little bit. So I push on the on the covering for the for the security monitor or for the security tracker, if you will, what do you want to call it? I push on it, and I'm thinking, okay, that's helped. That's going to help it, right? Wrong. Even though it clipped in, it didn't help it. So had to unscrew it again, open it up, see what the problem was. Right? Guess what? Guess what the problem was? If you guessed I put the battery in wrong, you were right. And it almost didn't help that we dropped that when I was trying to get the battery out, that I dropped the circuit board on the floor. Thank God it didn't break because we have a laminated floor. And you know, and anyway, long story short, picked it up. My mom picked up the circuit board, gave me the battery. I put the battery in correctly this time, and it was done. Finally completed. Thank the Lord. But that put a damper on a lot of things because what I was doing is I was playing music, if you will. I was playing music on this, which my sister got me, which is a like that. It does one of those kind of things. So I was doing that, and all of a sudden this all happened. And my mom was going to get me eggnog, and I was drinking eggnog out of my new National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation moose mug because they do sell those. And again, it was just one of those situations to where it's like just because of that, it put a damper on things. So I couldn't finish it. I couldn't finish it. Even though I got up late, my determination was get the tree up, get the lights up, get the ornaments up, get mostly everything again, get up, on there, get up and finished on there, right? And again, it was because of that that it just dampened us. And this is the one thing I'm going to say about Xfinity, AT&T, or any cable company that offers the whole shebang, including mobile and all that. Here's my thoughts on that. Here's my thoughts. If you're going to offer all this, all the amenities, at once, then if you're going to offer security with it, what you need to do is make sure that the batteries you include with them are not Panasonics, they're not cheap. You make sure the Optimums by Duracell or Lithiums by Energizer. You know why? Because those will last you a long time. They will, because they don't get used that much. They don't get used that much. But again, that kind of put a damper on things. So I finished what I could with some help from my mom, finished what I could, and I'm going to do the rest tomorrow. That's about it. That is about it. But yeah, it's a heck of a way to end the first two initial days of the Thanksgiving weekend. Before we head into Saturday and Sunday, which, some people treat as a regular weekend, some still treat as Thanksgiving because there's a lot of people that do Thanksgiving dinners, not once, not twice, but three times. Once on a Thursday, once on a Friday, and once on a Saturday. And then that's it. So, okay, yeah, what a way to end the first two initial days of the Thanksgiving holiday for 2021 for me, honestly. But I will get most of it done tomorrow, and thank God for that. Thank God for that. Um, but yeah, it's just, ugh, ugh, I tell you, that going off the way it didn't help. And like I said, if I'm Xfinity, I'm AT&T, I'm Cablevision, any company, DirecTV, Dish, if I'm offering the whole shebang, you know, as part of my deals, which includes security, make sure that the monitors that you add as part of that security, or even the the monitors for the living room, the hall, the windows, make sure you include Duracell Optimums or Energizer Lithiums. They work a heck of a lot better. I should know. There's plenty of stuff that I have right now that still has batteries, lithium batteries in them, that I put in about a year ago, including these guys above me, the fire alarms. Some of them have lithiums in them too, and they work. But yeah, it's just one of those situations to where it's like, what a way to put a damper on things. But it's good, because my mom says God has a plan for everything and He has a reason for things happening. And it didn't really. And I'll say this, it does kind of fall on me because I should have just got up initially when I did instead of laying back down. But obviously, obviously things worked out. I mean, my mom apologized for any kind of attitude she had towards me because her legs hurting a little bit, but so she has to take ibuprofen for it, and it helps out. But she kind of apologized for that because she was not in the best moods after that thing threw her off and it threw me off. So everything turned out all right in the end. But honestly, again, like I said, if I'm any of these people that offer the whole shebang, cable, phone, internet, security, if I'm you guys with the security part, the window monitors and the hall and living room monitors, make sure you have, and this is the honest truth, make sure you have lithium or optimum batteries instead, because that's the best option. Honestly, it is. It is the best option. So yeah, at least I got the tree up and the lights up, and we got some things up, and we'll finish the rest tomorrow. But then to really close out things, I'm sitting here at this computer, right? Next thing I know, my light here flickers twice. And I'm thinking, is it because my mom's turning off the lights in the kitchen? Is it because she's turning off the light over here in the laundry area, going into the garage? What's going on? Nope, because apparently she saw the same thing going on with the living room light. And what it was apparently there was a power surge here in Newman, because we weren't the only ones that dealt with it. Other people around Merced Street, Canyon Creek, here in Newman, mostly throughout, felt the same stuff. And we don't know what it was. We don't know if it was something because of the weather or whatever it could be. I mean, it could be them testing out the tree because they haven't lit up the tree yet here in Newman. So maybe that was it. I don't know. But yeah, it's like, gee, if what else could happen? It's like what else could happen, and boom, there you go. But besides that, though, everything's turned out all right. Everything's been good, and yeah, just gonna finish off the rest of the weekend. putting up the decorations, and whatever I don't put up tomorrow, I'll finish up on Monday on my own. And then Sunday, of course, go to church, see what's going on there, and really, that's about it. I mean, the other thing that kind of I'll say this, that kind of like was, caused me to not finish work on the tree and stuff was my mom. She wanted to. She basically wanted to watch her Hallmark channel. There was a new movie she wanted to see. It's a sequel, as a matter of fact, to the Nine Lives of Christmas, called The Nine Kittens of Christmas. So, yeah, go figure. Go figure. But yeah, she wanted to see that, and that kind of prevented me from finishing. But again, overall, it's not too bad. Wasn't it? I'll put it this way: it hasn't been too bad. I think a lot of us as families experience an off day the day after Thanksgiving. Like, we want to relax, but we also want to put up the decorations, and all kinds of things happen that kind of throw us off a little bit. But thank the Lord, things have turned out all right, and things are going to continue to turn out all right. You know, and that's a fact. But anyway, though, guys, I just wanted to come on here and do this post Thanksgiving Day vlog, let you know what's been going on, what had been going on throughout the Thanksgiving holiday, how we spent it, and everything with family, and then what we did the day after, and all that. And I do apologize for going on about the whole, thing about the only damper, very tiny damper that we've had on this, as a whole. Myself and all of you included, was that report of the South is the report of the discovery of the variant in South Africa, which again, straightforward with you guys, it's just in my opinion, just another way of spooking people into getting the vaccinations or the boosters. That's all it really is. I mean, again, like I said, no offense, all due respect and power to you. If you want to take it seriously and be concerned about it, that's up to you, and that's fine. More power and respect to you. But here in the States and some other parts of the world, I think a lot of us look at it as just another way of spooking us, and scaring us into getting the vaccines and the boosters. And like I said, all these news people have to do is national or local just have to come out and say, look, yes, there was a variant discovered in South Africa. That parts of that world are taking precautions to make sure it doesn't spread. So we would encourage you so what we would like you what we would like to encourage you to do is get the vaccination and the booster, so we don't have to report things like this being as catastrophic as it isn't. So that's all they have to do. That's all they really have to do. But again, that's up to them, and it's up to the people in charge, and at those places, at those stations, at those channels. That if they want to come out and report the truth of saying, yes, it was discovered. Yes, the countries around that part of the world are taking precautions to make sure it doesn't spread. So, but in reality, what we're actually trying to do is scare you guys, or at least encourage you guys in our own way to get vaccinated or get booster shotted. And that's it. That's it. But yeah, to me, that's the only tiny little damper, because again, the timing, when you think about it, it's just so ironic of the timing of the report of it. Just too ironic, in my opinion. But anyway, though, guys, besides that being the tiniest little damper, overall, everything else was good. Like I said, it was great to see the Thanksgiving Day parade back up and running again. And that's really all I'm going to say. That's really all I'm going to say, guys. So I hope you all had a great. So I hope you have all had, like I said at the beginning, a safe and healthy Thanksgiving so far. I know some of you may be doing more Thanksgiving dinners tomorrow. If not, you've done well, seeing as though it is Saturday now, but today, like you did yesterday, Friday, and of course on Thursday. So, hopefully, you got again, guys, you have a health and health, safe, a safe and healthy Thanksgiving. For the rest of the weekend. For those of you that, as I was trying to say, that are going to do more dinners today, like you did Friday and on Thursday, hope you guys get more to eat, plenty to eat, and plenty of leftovers to take home. Maybe take back on your trip back home. And really, that's about all. And really, that's all I'm going to say. So, hope again, guys, I hope you guys have health and safe, a safe and healthy Thanksgiving for the rest of the weekend, as well as a safe travel back on Sunday morning, afternoon, or night, or even Monday morning, afternoon, if you decide to wait until that day to come back. But till next time, though, guys, that's all I'm gonna say. I am kind of tired. It is like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So let me know what your thoughts are, though, down below about the vlog. I did hear lot. Thank you for joining me. I know not a lot of people join me in the live chat, if at all, because of the timing. It's about 12:48 a.m. Pacific time on now Saturday. But thank you all for watching live that you could. Thank you all for watching post live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, comment down below, live chat at well, not live chat, but comment down below, period. If you want to say anything. Also, um, check me out at BWO's discussions on all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. Also, check me out at BW Roses at patreon.com to support me there at the $1 or $3 tier. And also check me out at Venmo if you want to help donate there as well. Also, check me out at BW Roses on Vimeo for content you can't get here on YouTube in case it is blocked worldwide or not. Which, thankfully, the Speed Me Up fan vid that I did originally last year and was blocked worldwide is back up. And obviously, you guys have seen that with the initial upload that I did, along with another upload yesterday, which was using the original MP3 audio that I downloaded and bought off Amazon, as well as you'll be seeing tomorrow with an 8K version of the video as well, which I used online-convert.com to basically create or upgrade, if you will. So yeah, but anyway, check me out at Vimeo just in case something like what happened previously with that video would happen again. But until next time, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. And again, hope you all have hope you all have hope you all have for the rest of the Thanksgiving weekend a safe and healthy one, and have a safe travel back home either Sunday morning, afternoon, or evening, or Monday morning or afternoon if you choose to stay a day till that day, I should say. So until next time, guys, let me know what you think down below. And I am out. I'm gonna rest up. Like I said, it's almost 1 in the morning, and this has been going on for about an hour. So I'll talk to you all later, guys. Peace.